So it looks like we're not done with gaming news just yet. It looks like Sony's planning something big for July 8th as a rumored date for a potential Sony event. Now take any of this with a grain of salt because it's obviously not substantiated yet, but it comes from various leaks. One of which being a trademark has been filed for PSX, which is another name for the PlayStation event. There has been an email that's been sent to attendees of this event that's been leaked on 4chan, which detailed various companies I'll be joining in and what potential we can be seeing. And I'll read this kind of to you. What we got here is, according to an email sent to one of the event attendees, Sony's planning a new big event around June at that time, and now it seems closer to July. And we'll have some game developers such as Guerrilla Games, Sony Santa Monica, Capcom, Square Enix, Ubisoft, EA, among others. Not to mention a remake project by Square Enix and Bluepoint, which I know is going to be a big one for a lot of us guys here. Potentially, what can it be? When you're starting a Final Fantasy game being remade, another one of their properties. They have so many different games. I know it's not Legend of Dragoon. Legend of Dragoon is a Sony IP. And there's been difficulty reviving that IP, but that'll be cool as well. We'll see what happens with that. And another thing we got from is a Navatra. It's a reliable leaker. She has helped leak Final Fantasy Origins. She has helped also leak the fact that Sackboy and Miles Morales is going to be a cross-gen title. So she's a reliable leaker. According to all these three leaks, basically everything hints at the fact that beginning of July, we're going to get an event from Sony. And from what it sounds like, it's going to be a big event just based on the guys who are going to be here. And what kinds of things can we expect? I mean, the givens, I think, is Death Stranding Director's Cut. It has to be in there. Last of Us multiplayer. I'm a huge Last of Us multiplayer for the first game. I loved it. I played it religiously. So if they have announced that and finally show what they're working on here with the factions mode, that'd be awesome. Not to mention, most likely Last of Us a remake. They're probably going to mention something along the lines. Not personally something I really needed. I still think the first one's very replayable. But if they give it to us, I mean, I'm not going to complain. That's going to be awesome just to have this kind of game. Not to mention this project from Square Enix and Bluepoint. Imaginations run wild where it could possibly be, but it also shuts down my hopes of it being a Metal Gear Solid remake, which sucks. But what can you do? Let's keep going. Potentially, it's still going to be something it has to be something huge if it's Square Enix and Bluepoint. Not to mention, we'll get a God of War Ragnarok gameplay. It has to be there. If it's going to come out early next year, it has to have some kind of gameplay, something shown. Not to mention, maybe a little bit more for Horizon Forbidden West, possibly Final Fantasy 16. And I am not going to be surprised at all if they're going to show new games that have not been announced, that we don't know about, beyond the whole thing, because beyond the Square Enix project. Because if Capcom is there, there has been the rumored Onimusha 5, which would be absolutely amazing. The only I haven't beaten is Dawn of Dreams. What was it? Dawn of Dreams? Onimusha 4. That's the only one I haven't beaten. I religiously beat 1, 2, and 3 many times. Then Ubisoft being there, perhaps Avatar gameplay. EA, maybe some Star Wars game, you know, being revealed, maybe with Ubisoft, the Star Wars game being revealed. There's a lot of things that can happen with this event. And if Sony's taking their time, like a month away from everybody else, to do this big show, it's because they want attention to be on them. And that's most likely because they're going to have something really big to show. Usually that's how they work. The past couple of years, that's what they've been doing. They want to separate themselves from those big shows, let them get their spotlight, and we want all the talk to be about us when we give our big show. And that's what it looks like what they're doing with this one. But are you excited for potentially what this league can bring? Is there anything specifically you think that's going to be shown? For example, what do you think is this Square Enix and Bluepoint project? Is it something I'm not thinking of at the moment in this time? I would love to know from you guys down below in the comments and see what you guys think. And are you excited for this? Are you think this is just a rumor that's going to be thrown out the window, or do you think this is substantial enough? I'll make sure to link to my source down below where I've read this on an article from Reddit, so you can guys kind of sift through it as well yourselves. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be waiting in anticipation to see what Sony unveils for us here. Peace out, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe down below.